questions at the end, we'll put them in the chat. So
Cool.
I'll get started in just in another minute.
Understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for everybody to get together and
get in from the waiting room. Mm-hmm. Ms. Dahlman, can you see how many people are on?
For this meeting, I see there's 20.
Oh, great. Well, hello, 20 friends. Okay, I think I'll get started. So Mrs. Jeffrey is helping me out tonight. She's moderating, and she'll ask the questions at the end, and she will record this for us so that we can post it on the website. So it's best if you take your camera off because it is being videotaped, and also if you keep your mic muted so that everyone can hear me, and then at the end you can put your questions in the chat, and then everyone will be able to see them and hear them, and I'll answer them. So good evening, welcome. It's a little bittersweet tonight to be doing this town hall because normally in a normal year this would have been popsicles with principal. So I wish that I had a popsicle to give all of you. You would have been at school, we would have answered questions in person, but we're gonna do the best we can with this different type of situation we're in, but so welcome. I wanted to start just by saying a little bit about myself and about Ferndale Lower. So this is my 7th year as the principal here at Ferndale Lower, but I was a reading teacher and a kindergarten teacher. Long before that, I've been in the district many, many years, and just proud to call Ferndale my school family. And I'm also glad to welcome all of you to our school family. So many of you might be new. We have a lot of kindergarten families or kindergarten students starting this year. So I just want to give a special welcome to you. So at Ferndale Lower, we are a whole child school, and that just talks about we look out for the social, emotional well-being of students, the physical well-being, their academics and their brain, as well as everything else. So we just want to make sure that we're doing the best job that we can for all of our students. And so we say that we have a safe environment, it's a successful, appropriate foundation to educate all children and learn is a love of learning by providing an environment where all children feel respected, nurtured, safe, and successful. And that environment this year will be home, at least for the beginning of the school year that we know of. So we're just asking for a partnership between all of our families and our teachers and our staff members just to do the very best we can together so that we can have a lot of learning and that we're all safe during this difficult time. It is strange, but we'll get through this together. So glad that you're all with me tonight, and we'll get started with a few other things. So the first things first is that at Ferndale Lower, whether we're virtual or in person, something we say all the time is be a star or breathe like a star. So STAR stands for stop, take a deep breath, and relax. So I'm going to do that. If you want to do that with me, we just stop where we're at. We take that deep breath and let it out. And you can just feel some of those worries, some of those concerns, some of the tiredness that you have will just leave your body. So families, parents, I've already mentioned, we need to have a partnership this year. So we need to have a growth mindset. And here's just a few of them. Together we can do hard things. This is not easy, and we will make changes and adjustments along the way as long as we're partners together. But we can do hard things, and we will do hard things. And we want our students to have that mindset as well, is that they're not going to be able to do everything at the very beginning. And we say we're not there yet, we're not reading yet, we're not super mathematicians yet, but we will get there for sure. So another one is that we don't need all the answers to get started. I certainly do not have all the answers, and I'm relying on all of you and our school family to help, but we will do it together and get through. So these are just a couple of the mindsets that I wanted to share tonight, but we're gonna get through this, and we're gonna ask questions and communicate so that we can do our very best job for our students. So virtual learning, what is it? What is the schedule? Oh my goodness. So I'm going to click on the elementary schedule. I'm sure that you've seen it. And if not, this is on the Ferndale website. All of our back to school welcome information is all there. So that is a great hub for you to check out first to see maybe it can answer some of your questions for you. So all of the blue times are the synchronous learning time. And synchronous, in short, just means in sync. That means when your student and your teacher will be in sync together, will be online together for live instruction. So one of the questions I had received was, tell me about small group and what does that mean? So in the schedule, you'll see all of the blue areas are time where it will be with the teacher, whether it be for a morning meeting or an essentials, and I'll talk a little bit more about that towards the end of the presentation. But the synchronous instruction with your teacher will more than likely, depending on how they structure that time with your class, with the class, is that it will be a small mini lesson of either reading or math. And then from there, they will have small groups of students depending on their skill level. They might see your child in a small group 3 days a week, 4 days a week, maybe only 1 day a week, and provide them a smaller group learning opportunity. So your teacher will set that schedule up. Not exactly sure exactly how it will go, but it will be up to the teacher to design those and communicate that out to you. So since we're using Google Meets, it does not have the capabilities to send students off to a room for a small group. So we will be working on how to do that. We might have students turn off their mics and turn off their camera, and we ask them to come back in 10 minutes or ask them to, go do something in their workbook page and then come back together. We're still working on all of that, and we just have to get started to figure that out. So this is our schedule, K-12, and then we will send another schedule out that will have the essential schedule in it, and I'll be able to show you that. Okay, let me get out of this. Oops. There we go. So that is our K-5 schedule. Some frequently asked questions about the first 2 weeks and getting back to school at lower. That was on our welcome letter that went out, but a little bit about meet and greets. So the first 2 weeks of class, beginning next week and the week after, all of our students will participate in a morning meeting in the morning at 9 o'clock. Usually when we're at school, the first couple weeks is all about building culture, relationships, getting to know each other, and learning all about who we are here at school. So those first 2 weeks, we will still spend time doing all of that with meetings in the morning. So also, after their meeting, all of the teachers will send out a sign-up genius, or they'll give you a call and set up a meet and greet. We want you to come on campus if you're comfortable, and it will have smaller groupings with masks, social distancing. Our kindergarten team will be on one side of the building, and our first and second grade team will be on the other side. They'll have desks and chairs, and you'll be able to meet and greet them. You'll receive your supply bucket of information, which I'll give you more information about. And the teachers will be flexing their schedule and making appointments in the evening as well for those families that are working. So also during that time, we will have school pictures for the first week only. From 9 until 3, they'll take school pictures. So the pictures will be inside. Students will come in with their mask. They will have hand sanitizer before they come in. They cannot come in with adults though. So we will have our school personnel help them. They'll get to the gym, take their picture, and they'll come right back outside to you. Pictures cannot be outside because of the lighting and the equipment that they have. We did try to get that accomplished, but we weren't able to. And someone asked a question about submitting their own photo for the yearbook. And at this time, Kaiser is not accepting outside photos for the yearbook, but we're going to try to figure out a way, maybe we can get some group shots at pop-ups and things like that. Also, there will be an evening pictures, because this is only during the day next week, but an evening photo shoot from, I believe it's 4 to 7 on October 13th. So if you're not able to make it during the day, you can come in the evening time. What will students be expected to do the rest of the time when they are done with their morning meeting? And that's a great question. That's a time for them to explore the online resources that they'll be receiving, look at Seesaw. Teachers will be linking some activities for the week, probably some get to know you activities. So there will be additional things for them to do. It just won't be additional times that are synchronous with their teacher online, but there will be activities. And then, of course, we want you to come to the meet and greet for supplies and assessments. Some questions about instruction that came up. Will any of the lessons be recorded for kids to view them later? That's a great question. Unfortunately, because of some privacy laws, we're not able to videotape lessons of students when they are online. But some teachers have talked about creating some lessons that they can post as reviews. So when there's no one in the class, they can take some videos. So watch for those, because I'm sure that they'll be coming out, and teachers can also point you in the right direction of where, if it's a lesson on adding addition facts within 5, they can point you in the right direction. And our Accelerate Education also have lessons that will be doing that, and all of the students will have access to that. Will there be a point in the school year where in-person learning will be an option? What if I don't want to return? So the school board decided that they would decide in in October and November, they would make some decisions about second semester. Second semester begins January 19th. However, some legislation just came through that requires the school board to check it out every month and have a conversation about it. Look at the research, think about the science, find out all of the numbers, and make some informed decisions every month. So they will be looking at that monthly and making decisions. And if you felt that you did not want to return for your family, because I know many families are in that and they feel like they just need to stay home right now, that's safe, and I respect that. But we will, as a school district, we will work out a way so that you can continue to stay home and be safe. And if those students if we do open, those students that are able to come can come to school. But we will always work with you and figure out a plan for you. Attendance and online learning. So if the kids have to miss some Google Meets, what happens? Are they considered, is there any lenience for these things like technology issues? Absolutely. We know that things are going to happen. Things come up in families. Technology sometimes doesn't work. So we will adjust and do that. So that's why some lessons will be videotaped without the students, but they'll be videotaped for you to look at. Activities will be sent out. Just, we ask for communication. If you cannot be on a Google Meet for a reason, just let your teacher know. Things come up, you'll be in constant communication, especially if it's a couple days in a row. We really worry about our kiddos. So we really want to know how they're doing and what's happening with them. So again, communication is key. What is a learning management system? A learning management system is a landing page that all of our students in Ferndale K-12 will have. It's called Canvas. More information is coming out with that. The teachers here at Lower will not be working with Canvas just yet. We have to work out a few things. We'll be using Seesaw at the very beginning of the year, and teachers are busy getting those Seesaw accounts all set. But once we have our learning management system of Canvas, you'll be able to link to Seesaw from Canvas. So I think you'll really find that it's user-friendly once we have it all up and running. What is the difference between Seesaw and Remind? And this was a new question that came up this week, and that's great. Seesaw and Remind are both communication systems. However, with Seesaw, you're able to view links and create work. The teachers can create activities and students can send their completed work to their teacher. There's feedback. It can be shared with different students in the class. So Seesaw is really about that digital work portfolio that students will be adding to all year long. And Remind does do some of the same things with communication. It's more like a texting system. So when I talked to the teachers today, I said that they'll probably be doing most of their communication through Seesaw, and I'll be doing a lot of communication with Remind, and the district will also be using Remind. So Remind will probably be from Mrs. Keefe and the district, and Seesaw information will probably be from the teachers. Assessments and testing. Will the usual standardized testing be given this year? As of right now, yes. I am pretty certain that the kindergarten readiness assessment will not happen because that is a play-based program where we're observing students with other students, and it makes it a little hard virtually. But those standardized tests like the M-STEP, those will be on hold for right now. So also we have NWEA, which is an assessment that students can take online, and that does have to be done within the first 30 days of school. So we'll do some standard assessments at school the next 2 weeks, and then NWEA will be an online testing. Workload and working parents. This is so true. So how can you handle with both parents at home working and instruction and students needing to learn and all of the deadlines of their own work? And that is a really great question. So we're going to handle it with grace. We're going to ask you to participate and them to participate as much as they can. If some things need to be retaught at certain times, we can do that. We can work with you and help you to figure out a schedule. It's going to be tough. I do know that many families are working on learning pods, and although the district is not supporting by organizing those learning pods, I think it's a great idea if you can work with other families in the district to help each other out and take certain days for families. That's great. Also, our elementary connections group is working on putting together family circles where they connect 5 families, a group of 5 families. All the classrooms will be divided up in groups of 5. And then that's just another set of ears and eyes that you can talk to if you have questions. If you want to set up times to get together, that would be great too. But mainly for questions, if you missed an assignment, you want to figure something out. So this is a tough one. We're just going to have to work together and figure this out together. Essential classes. So essential classes are music, art, and gym. And typically those classes are hands-on and active. So virtually will be a little tough, but it's not impossible. So right now, all of our art, music, and gym teachers are working on a schedule, and some of them will see certain students at a time, certain grade levels, and some will have some skill levels. So all of that will be communicated out. And here at Lower, the essential classes will be drop-in. So I will essentially give you a schedule of all of the drop-in music times and art times and gym. And as your family works out their schedule, you can drop in and drop out of as many of the classes as you want. Typically at Lower, they receive 2 music classes, 2 gym classes, and 1 art class a week. So if you wanted to stick with that schedule, that would be great. But I know that it is tough sometimes, especially for our little ones, to go on and off the computer all day. So just do what you can with your family and get on with those classes, and that would be great. So we also have 1 music session that will be for K-5, and I just talked to Mr. McMillan tonight, and he's excited about it. He is talented in the strings. So he will be doing every week, I believe it's on Wednesday, he'll be doing a 45-minute class on strings. And I think it's going to be fantastic. I love listening to him play, and he has so much knowledge to share. So that'll be an exciting opportunity for our students to have. Technology, yes, we have to have technology in a virtual world, right? So one question, do I need to set up an email for my child who's going into kindergarten in order to use all of the platforms? So when you registered, you received a MyStar account. And in MyStar, you receive your password and your child's email. So that is all done automatically. So check out your MyStar account and make sure that you have an email. And if you don't, email me and I'll help you out with that. But those are automatic through the enrollment system. Will there be educational sessions or a technology guide for families? Yes. In fact, there was one tonight, a Zoom meeting And Ms. Dahlman is joining us. She's coming from that meeting. So if we have any questions about Seesaw when we do the chat, she'll be able to help us out with that. But yes, they're trying to email information, get it out on paper. They're trying to do Zoom meetings. And I'm not sure about in-person sessions or not. Where and when can I pick up a device? Well, the last August session was tonight, but they will be setting up additional times in September. So keep a lookout on Remind. And those pickups were all at the high school. Wow, I think I went through that really fast tonight, Mrs. Jeffrey. So I will get out of this, or actually I don't have to. You can let me know what some of the questions are. So what questions do you have? What did I miss?
Yep, so if you want to type in the chat, there's actually only been one so far. I did answer it within the chat, Ms. Keefe, but it was the meet and greets are inside, and I did clarify that those would be held outside, but do you want to repeat that again?
So about the meet and greets, so meet and greets are outside on the front lawn and the back lawn, and I've asked teachers to have a rain date just in case if your day happens to be rained out, because they can't be outside in the rain doing the assessment. So your teachers will let you know what nights they have scheduled and what days they have scheduled.
The next question is, will we be getting a list of apps and sites the kids will be using in the pickup packets?
Well, a lot of that information is on the website. I believe that the teachers are putting together certain passwords and certain lists of what they'll be using. Yes.
And for all K-5 students, the first 2 weeks, the only thing the students need is meet.google.com. So the Google Meet, which unless they are kindergartner, they all used last year. And the teachers will be describing that in their emails to you as well. So you don't have to stress about all the different technologies quite yet. The next question, Mrs. Keefe, was, can you provide more details about what the connections group is putting together?
Okay. Well, they've asked for our teachers to take their whole class list and pull families in groups of 5. And they're looking for coordinators for each classroom that can then email that information out and just kind of put you in touch with someone so that you can ask questions, kind of like you are tonight, but you'll be able to ask someone that maybe has been in the district before or knows kind of how we work. Mrs. Jeffrey, do you have any other information on the family circles?
Sure. So really the goal of this is our elementary connections group. So this is a group that normally helps to run our camps, runs all of our volunteer programs. And so they have been working together to think about how can we do some of the things that bring families together while we are virtual. So I'll type in the chat. I've got to look it up really quickly, but I'll type the email address if you have further questions for them. But this is essentially just when you are in your circle of 4 to 5 parents, it's just so that you have, like, let's say a communication came out from a teacher and you're not really sure, just that you could maybe text back and forth with those other 3 families in the classroom. Eventually the ECG would like to do things like trivia nights, virtual events for families to get together. So this is it's not run by the district. It's really part of the ECG group, just trying to bring families together who might not live in the same neighborhood and might not be friends. One of the great things about our elementary buildings is that our kids come together in the classrooms, and it's harder to do virtually to make those friendships. So it's really to drive connections across all of our classrooms as well. And I'll try, I can't minimize Mrs. Keefe. I'll try and look for that email somehow and put it in the chat. The next question, what is NWA online testing, and will we be notified in advance?
Yes, you would be notified because you would know which meeting it would take the place of possibly. NWEA is a standardized test that all across the nation they take. There are standard norms, and it is taken in kindergarten, 1st grade, and 2nd. In K and 1, there is a reading portion and a math portion. And in second grade, there's reading, math, and a language usage. And I've never seen it virtual, so I don't know exactly how it's going to be yet virtually. Usually we bring all of our students into the media center and they're taking it on a computer at the same time. So.
The next question is, if we did not ask for an internet access hub, I forget what it's called as well, but now believe we need one, is there still availability for technology equipment?
The Khajiits probably you're talking about. I'm not exactly sure if they had a limited amount, but I know that we do have a partnership with Comcast to also try to provide internet access, because you do need to have that for virtual. So I would reach out to technology. I believe that there is a button on the website, Mrs. Jeffrey, that they could go on and get the information, the email address, and there will be additional device pickups, like I said, in September.
Yes, there will be more for Wi-Fi access. I believe the district is also working on a partnership with Comcast to provide internet as well. So the easiest way to do that, I will look, sorry, there's a lot more chats than last night, Mrs. Keefe. I will, once we get caught up in the chat here, I will look for the email address that you can send, or you can also contact Ms. Keefe directly and she'll find out from technology. That may be easiest.
Right.
The next question is, do I need to contact someone about speech therapy if my first grader needs help but was never seen last year?
Yes, if you believe that they need some support and you would like them to be screened, you can let me know that and I will pass that information along. And then someone from special ed would be in touch. They have certain criteria that students have to meet or not meet in order to be screened. But the special ed department could go over that with you. So yeah, just let me know.
The next question is, did you say they will also have evening meet and greets?
Yes, the teachers will be flexing a day or two of their schedule and setting those appointments up for families that are working during the day and really do need to come in the evening. So just work with your child's teacher for that. We want to make sure that we see as many of our students in person that are comfortable seeing us in person.
All right, and the next question was, and what does that stand for? Is that, Ms. Isco, is that, are you talking about NWA? I'll go on to the next question. NWA, I'll look it up. I think it's Northwest Educational Authority.
Right.
Northwest Educational Authority, if that was the question.
She said yes to that.
Okay, thank you. I can't see in both parts of the chat at the same time.
Sorry, and by the way, I did put the tech needs survey in the chat.
Oh, perfect.
Thank you, Lynn. The next question is, how do I get Seesaw?
So Seesaw, your teacher will let you know in the supply bin. There'll be information. I believe they're also sharing some links, and some of it should be coming automatic. There's actually, I don't know, Ms. Dahlman, you want to explain the two different apps that there are for Seesaw?
Sure. There is the family app, which is the one that the parents will be using to communicate with parents, with teachers, and as well as being able to provide feedback on their child's work. And then there's the class app, which is the one that the students will be doing their work and receiving their assignments from their teachers. At least, I haven't talked to Katie about this because we only had a couple texts or emails today, but at least at Lower, the plan is to, this weekend in the Meet the Teacher emails, is to put the invitation to parents for the family app in our letters to our teachers so that we can at least get connected on the family app so that you can start to immediately have communication with the teachers. So that's going to be our first step with that. And then next week, we're going to start to move into the class app once we have communication with parents. So that's going to be our first step with that. Because
So
the ultimate goal is that students won't have to have the class app, which you're more than welcome to have the class app. But the ultimate goal is that they can get into their class app through Canvas.
Right. So tomorrow on MyStar, you will be able to see who your child's teacher is tomorrow morning. And then by about 11 o'clock, the teachers here at Lower will send out via email through MyStar. They'll send out a letter introducing themselves. And then that information will be in there too, how to sign up for the Seesaw.
You guys sort of just answered this. Are we using Canvas or Seesaw, and are those usernames and passwords So do you want me to speak to this one?
Sure.
So Canvas is the one-stop shop landing page for all K-12 students. And so they will log in using their district email and password. And then that will take them to Seesaw. So instead of families having to log into Seesaw, log into the Google Classroom, log into this, everybody can go to Canvas and they'll be able to get to the educational things that they need, the students will, via Canvas. So yes, both, but really at the elementary level, Canvas is just that one-stop page for kids to get to everything. There'll be like a button that they can email their teacher. There'll be a button to Seesaw, and it's all using the same Google password, the password that is on their MyStar for students.
Yeah, we're really trying to streamline it and make it one password for you to get in.
The next question is the full sync async schedule begins the third week of school, which would be September 14th.
Yes, that's correct.
And same kind of question to clarify. The first 2 weeks, there is a virtual time 9 to 9:45, and that is it. Monday through Thursday. Should we expect more or a different schedule provided by the teacher?
There won't be a different schedule to get online, but the teacher probably will talk with them, with the class in their morning meeting about activities and work they can do. They may send out a getting to know you project. There's all different things that the teachers will be doing, but the only synchronous time those first 2 weeks will be that 9 to 9:45, and then during the meet and greet.
And the reason for that, K-5, is that we really firmly believe that we need to make connections with the kids. And we also need to do some informal assessments, have them read to us, learn a little bit more where they're at. They have not been in school since March. So we need to take time to get to know our kids and have that opportunity to kind of see where they are at. And so then that full asynchronous or synchronous schedule will start the 14th for that reason. So the teachers are working full days. They're just meeting with kids one-on-one for longer periods of time to start those 2 weeks. The next question, Mrs. Keefe, our first grader will be in a group of 4 children. There are 2 teacher assignments within the group. Will they have similar work assignments between teachers?
So they have 2 first graders. Is that what the question is?
Sounds like 4 children with 2 different teacher assignments, which again are not really official until tomorrow morning. So if you've looked at something prior to that, things have been changing until this evening. So you could end up not with what you think, but go ahead if you want to say, will the grade level all be on the same page?
Okay, I couldn't figure out if it was a twin question or not. So grade levels are working really hard together as teams to be on the same page because we know that this is happening. Learning pods are happening. Family circles are working together. So as a community, we are trying to stay on the same page with the same scope and sequence. So yes, kids should be able to work even if they have different teachers along the same work towards the same progress.
Will Canvas automatically have a link to our child's teacher on Monday, or do we have to search for the teacher somehow?
We are not using Canvas yet. So the teacher will send out in their letter information about how to get on a Google Meet, what their nickname is, and you will use Google Meets to get onto the meeting on Monday.
Sorry, I keep losing the chat here. How long are the special classes, and do we wait in the parking lot while the students are attending?
So special or essential classes are also virtual, so they would be online, and they are 30 minutes. There are a couple that are 45, and then the one string is, I believe, 60. So, so you wouldn't be coming to the school, so you wouldn't have to wait in the parking lot. But I'm wondering if you're wondering about waiting in the parking lot for the first 2 weeks, the meet and greet. We will ask you to step away from the table where the student is doing their assessment so that the teacher and the student can just have their time. If I didn't answer that, just let me know.
The next question, when will we get the Canvas login? So the login is already available. It's in MyStar. It is their Ferndale Schools email. So the same thing they use for everything when they're in person. Obviously for our kindergartners, it's a little different because they have not been in the school community yet, but that's why we have amazing kindergarten teachers. But if it's all the same login for everything, it's their email address. Correct, Mrs. Keefe?
Mm-hmm. And then their password is in MyStar as well.
But they will not have to access Canvas until September 14th, and the teachers will spend time modeling that in those morning meetings
Teaching
the
that.
first 2 weeks.
Right, right.
The next question, do you expect that we'll have a different schedule each week? And they're speaking specifically to small groups.
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. The teachers are going to try to keep things systematically so that it's not changing all the time, because especially with our young ones, that, you know, it's hard for them to know, and they need that consistent schedule. So again, we've never done this before, so we're just trying to figure it out. But I would say once we have some skills and some skill groups, we're hoping to keep it the same as much as possible. However, in real school time, we do flexible grouping. So if a student really just takes off with the learning, then they might need to be put into another group, and that other group is probably a different time.
And I would just say small groups are probably not going to happen for the first couple weeks for sure.
Yeah.
As we're just building our classroom communities.
Right. You just have to figure out who everyone is and assess some skills and figure out how to do online.
Which is the same as we would be in person. So we
Right.
spend the first 6 weeks of school normally normalizing routines, assessing, and so that's not too different than what you would see in a regular brick and mortar school. The next question is, I missed the beginning of the meeting. Will this call be available to watch again?
Yes, it is being taped, and it will be posted on the website, and I think maybe even they posted it on Facebook last week. I'm not sure. And then there's the one from last week as well.
Next question, where did you say we will find the first teacher email, and also where do we find our students' email?
So in MyStar will be your student's email and password. And then the first teacher email will come out tomorrow, and that will go to whichever email address you have linked in MyStar. So hopefully everyone has gone to MyStar and updated their information and checked the email addresses, your address, your phone number, and updated all that information in MyStar, because that will be a key communication tool this year.
Follow-up question to earlier. So you might have meetings with the teacher those first 2 weeks aside from the meet and greets for assessments. Can you go over those first 2 weeks schedule one more time?
So the first 2 weeks, teachers will be meeting in person if you're comfortable, and everyone will have one meeting that they will come to in person. And at that meeting, you will receive your bin of supplies. We have a whiteboard, and we have school supplies, your reading workbook, your math workbook, and your teacher will go over that with the family. And then the teacher will also do assessments for reading and math at that time as well. So it's just one meet and greet that will also include supplies and assessments. And if your meet and greet is the first week of school, from 9 to 3, you can also have your photo taken. If you do not schedule a meeting the first week, you can drop in anytime from 9 to 3 to have your child's photo taken.
And to clarify too, there are every day, those first 2 weeks, there is the 9 to 9:45 morning meetings. So they
Yes.
are going to meet virtually every day at the same time for 2 weeks. And then each child will have their own individual 30-minute time.
Right. So it's the first week is Monday through Thursday, and the second week is Tuesday through Friday.
Because of Labor Day. Yes, Labor Day weekend. The next question, is the welcome letter with the Google Meets info emailed to our child's school email?
No, it was emailed to the email in MyStar for the parents, and then it was posted on the website.
But when the teachers, I think, Mrs. Keefe, when the teachers send out their letters, they are able to select the students too.
Okay. We do not select students.
Oh, you don't have that,
K2
okay.
level. We only do it with the family emails.
Got it. Different at 3.5. I'm sorry for that. The next question, can students access Google Meet via Clever on their Chromebooks?
I
I don't know the answer to that question. Ms. Dahlman?
don't know the answer to that question either.
Ms. Jeffrey?
Miss Jeffrey, you have more experience with Clever than we do at Lower. So do you know the answer to that one?
The Google Suite is on Clever. I do not have a student account. I'm trying to picture a student account, but the easiest way that first day to get on is to just open up the browser and do meet.google.com. I typed it into the chat and I will type it again.
Great.
The teachers will also have it in their emails that come to you tomorrow.
I would agree that is the easiest way because the code is going to stay the same the whole year. So that is the easiest way.
Great, thank you.
Great questions we're getting
Yes,
tonight.
really
This
good
is what we need. It helps us to
Yes.
think through the things we don't know.
Right.
The next question, Mrs. Keefe. Ms. Molnar said the meet and greets are the same as assessment time. That is correct.
Yes. At Lower. They look a little different at Fuel, but at Lower, ours are the same time.
Next question, how do I add someone to MyStar?
I've never done it, so I'm not sure, but you can email the MyStar help desk, and they can help you with that.
It sort of depends too if you are, I will say for MyStar, if you're looking to add like a emergency contact, you were able to do that on your end. The registration came out, I think on Monday to go back and re-register. So if it's like an emergency contact, you can add whoever you need in that you can do on your own. However, if you're looking for somebody to be receiving emails that is not a legal guardian, that's a little bit different. So I'll type that help desk that Ms. Keefe mentioned in the chat.
I think someone did. Yeah.
Oh, and a parent answered, yes, you can get to Google Meet through Clever.
Okay, great. Helpful.
Next question, can you please explain the dates and times we can come pick up our child's supplies and times?
So yes, the first 2 weeks, I'll get the exact dates for you, but your teacher will set up an appointment with you. And when your appointment is set up, you can come in and get your supplies and do the assessment. So teachers will be setting up appointments beginning Monday, August 31st, the 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd. And then we're off Friday and Monday for Labor Day. And then the teachers will continue to make appointments for Tuesday, September 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. And a couple of them, or all of them pretty much, are flexing time. So they'll have daytime hours and a few evening hours, and you'll just work with your teacher to figure out the best time that you can come in. And if you cannot come in, you're more comfortable to do it virtually, then we'll set that up virtually. And you can either drive by and pick up your supplies, I'll be here every day, or we can figure out a way to get them to you. All
right, the next question is to clarify. we will not need to access our students' email. Is that correct? I'm not sure how to access their FPS email account. Hopefully there isn't a lot of email waiting there.
So you do need their email account and their password to get into Google. So to do those meetings. So you do need to get that from MyStar, but there shouldn't be a lot of emails from the school to your child's account. We would have sent them to the adult account.
It's a Gmail account, so if they can just go to like gmail.com and like log in with that stuff.
And log in with it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get it from the MyStar first, though.
Correct.
Oh, sorry, we have reached, oh, hold on, we got another one. One parent following up to the, in terms of adding another parent to your MyStar account. Yes, you can do that in the registration under emergency contacts, but not as the primary account holder. So they have to be a legal guardian for that. Can we have multiple adult email accounts linked? Do you want me to try that one?
Yeah, I think it only takes 2, but yeah, go for it if you know the answer.
Yes, it's the same. So yes, it'll take up to 2, I believe. Again, if you, that may be a specific question. I think that's Miss Weiss. If you want to email Miss Keefe and I, we can find the answer to that. Generally, it's only 2 accounts, although we have added like a third. There's been multiple guardians or a step parent or something like that. So we have been able to do some amendments, but you just need to go through the office for that. The next question, oh, Ms. Molnar was answering somebody else's questions. We do not need to be checking their email. We just use their email address and password to log into other things. Yeah. Yes, thank you for clarifying that. We have a parent comment. I think a lot of people are stumbling when attempting to get into MyStar to then get to my child's credentials for Google. I finally found the info, but MyStar help at ferndaleschools.org is probably the best place to start if you're unsure. Thank you, Mr. Daniel. Absolutely.
Yes.
It's true.
I use MyStar Help.
And the next question is, if they are a parent and I add them as an emergency contact, will they still be able to log into MyStar, correct? No, emergency contacts are not the same thing as legal guardians, and you would have to share your own MyStar account. So if that's a specific question, if you're looking to add like a third guardian or something like that, please email Mrs. Keefe directly so that we can figure out how we can help.
Yes.
That looks like the end of the chat. Mrs. Keefe.
Great questions. Wow, that was super.
I am adding the Elementary Connections Group email address right now if you'd like to reach out to them with more questions.
Great. Well, I am available email. I've been getting a lot of reminds, which is new because it's a new system for us, but I'm able to answer some questions, you know, right on the spot. So that's super. Just let me know how I can help. I don't want anyone to be worried or stressed about all of this. We'll do this together, and I'll get answers to all of your questions. Even if I don't know the answer, I'll find it out for you.
Mrs. Keefe, they want you to put your email in there. There you go. Perfect. Thank you, Katie.
All set.
Well, I'm looking at a different screen, so I don't have.
Yeah, all set.
Okay, thank you.
One final question. I re-enrolled my child, but it's still saying pending. Should I try again? Normally, MyStar is a 24-hour update. So if you still see that issue 24 hours after you did it, you can email the help again, and I'll put that in the chat one more time.
I did have one kindergarten parent reach out to me today because there was no data in the MyStar system, so she didn't have an email and a password. And we found out that there was a little bit of a glitch with some of the kindergarten students coming from FECC. So if you notice that your child's incoming kindergartner does not have an email and a password, please either reach out to me or let the MyStar help desk know that.
Okay, that's it, Ms. Keefe.
Okay, great. I have Yeah, I'm not going to go back to the slideshow because I'm in a weird, I don't know what I did, something different. So, okay, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I hope that I answered some questions and you were able to get a little bit of peace with some of that. Really appreciate you being on tonight. Let me know how I can help you. I'm here to make this transition as seamless as possible. And again, to those incoming kindergarten families, welcome. Kindergarten is an exciting time, and we're just so glad to have you as part of our school family. And I'll see all of you online, different meetings. So just thanks for being with us tonight. And I'll see you around. Bye. Oh, there's some of my friends.
Hi, Jude.
Yeah, hi, Jude. Oh, hello. Hi. Good to see you. Hi, August. Nice to see you. Are you coming to read with me soon?